Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Welcome to our online training session. My name is Egbert, and I'm the technical support engineer from NovaStar. And today I'm very glad to be here to share some knowledge about our products and the softwares. So today's topic is about the cascading and the redundancy configuration. So what is cascading and why do we need the cascading? Maybe someone of you have the answers about this. So today I will tell you more about this. Let's say this is a basic structure of the LED control system. We can say there has a control PC. It provides the video source to the video processor, and the video processor will give the signal to the sending card. And finally, the sending card will give the signal by Ethernet cable. And finally, the LED screen will show the image. So this is a LED control system. And we notice that there has one more USB cable connect the control PC with the sending card, and the first sending card connects the second sending card as well. So this is what we call cascading. Why do we need the cascading? Mainly, there are two reasons. The first one is it can achieve a unified control of LED screens when we connect multi-LED controllers. Like we can adjust the brightness for multi-screens together. No need to set the brightness one by one. It's very convenient. And the second one is for the redundancy configuration. About the redundancy configuration later in next part, we will talk about this. So this is the software of Nova LCT. We can say in the details of device, we can say we connect two controllers. So because just now in the structure, we have connected the two devices by USB cable. So now we have know the advantage of cascading. So how can we do the cascading connection? I mean, the hardware. You know, the NovaStar has many controllers like the M Control 300, M Control 600, even the M Control 4K. All of these products, they will have different cascading connections. So next, I will explain you one by one. So let's start it from the basic product. It's called MSD300 and MSD600. This is the most basic product of sending card. We can see it only has a card without box. How can we cascade the sending card like this? We will use this kind of cable. You will get it in the package when you buy the product. And we have to find the interface on the board like this. It's called UART out and UART in. One is in and another one is out. So it's not difficult to understand that. We will use the cable connect the first sending card UART out and then go to the second sending card UART in. So this is a cascading between the two MSD300 or MSD600. Next one, we have the M Control 300 and M Control 600. We can see in the picture, it has a box over there. And the cascading interface is also different. We have to use another kind of cable. We can see in the middle of the picture and connect the UART out to the next sending card UART in. The connection is the same, just the cable and interface are different. The third one is M control 660. This device has a LCD panel in the front side compared with the M control 600. And the cascading interface is also different, we can say. So at this time, we start to use the Ethernet cable to do the cascading. It's easy for us to find the Ethernet cable. So we use the Ethernet cable to do the cascading. Connection is same from the out to the in. The final one is a controller like M control R5, M control 4K, and the all-in-one controller Pro UHD, Pro UHD Junior, VX4S, VX6S. We start to use the USB cable to do the cascading because sometimes the Ethernet cable is easy to be found, but it's also easy to be broken. So we choose the USB cable to do the cascading. As we can say, it also has a USB in and USB out. If you have ever used this kind of product, we will see that there are two ways to control the device. One is we can connect it by Ethernet cable, and we can also connect them by USB cable. So I have a question. If we connect the first SIM card by Ethernet cable with our control PC, but we cascaded the rest of controller by USB cable, so this kind of connection, will it work or not? The answer is no. If we use the Ethernet cable to connect the first device, but we connect the rest controller by USB cable, it cannot work. So in this situation, if we want to connect multi-device like this, we have to use USB cable only. So this point, I think you'd better take care of this. Now we have all of the hardware connection ways about the cascading. So next, we need to check our connection is working or not. Of course, we will use the configuration software. It's called NovaLCT. After we have done the hardware connection of the cascading, we run the software and log in, and we click to connect the hardware. Later, we will find the details of the device here, and we can see the communication port and the device tab. Here it shows the M Control 660 Pro is a product model, and we will see the quantity of the device we have connected. So let's think about that. If we cascaded two devices, but we only read one device in the software, it means the cascading connection is not successful. We have to check the hardware connection again. So this is how can we check our cascading working or not. So this is all of the settings about cascading. Next, we will come to the redundancy backup. Just now, when I talk about the advantage of cascading connection, the second one is for the redundancy configuration. So next, we will say what is the redundancy backup and what's the relation between cascading and redundancy backup, and why do we need the backup? This is a basic structure of LED control system. Normally, there has only one channel from the control PC to the video processor. It provides the video signal, and the processor will give the signal to the sending card. And finally, the sending card will connect the receiving card by Ethernet cable. It will transmit the data to all of the receiving card. And finally, the LD screen will show the correct image. Let's think about if any cable between two receiving cards is broken. So the rest of the receiving card will not get the data from the main channel. Of course, this part of screen will be blank. So how can we do it? The NovaStar provides the backup solution. The rest of the receiving card will get the data from the backup channel. So the video source will go to another sending card and transmit the data by redundancy channel. So this is the principle of backup. We can say the signal come back and the LD screen will show the image as normal. So now we have know the advantage of backup. How can we set up the backup? What's the hardware connection? What's the software connection? Next, I will introduce to you many 3 cases about the redundancy, or we can call it backup settings. I think one of these will help you a lot. The first one is we will set the backup on single unit. We can see in the picture, we have LED screen in the right side. And the sending card is M-Control 660 Pro. So for this screen, we will use only one port of the sending card to be the main channel, and the second port will be the backup. And at the same time, the control PC will connect the sending card. It provides the DVI signal, and it connects the sending card by USB cable for control. So let's see how can we do the settings in the software and the hardware. Now in my left hand, we prepare 2 sending card is M-Control 660 Pro, and we give the signal and connect the USB cable. So now we will see it. Okay, now we have started the Nova LCD software. Now the latest version is 5.4.1. And now in my laptop only connect one sending card, and we choose the users and log in the first one. For the synchronized system like this sending card, we choose the first one, and I log in. The password is admin, and normally we will click the system and we connect. Sometimes we need to wait for some time to for the software to detect the hardware, and later we can check the details of device here. We can see the communication port is connected by USB, and the device type is M-Control 660 Pro, and it only has one device, and this is SN number. So now the system is connected. We go to the screen configuration, and we can see it only has one communication port. We have to choose this one, and go to next. we can say it has three interface. One is sending card, and a second one is receiving card, and the third one is screen connection. Because now this the LD screen is on my left hand, it only has 4 cabinets. For each cabinet is already configured, so we come to the screen connection directly. So we set only one screen, so the quantity will be 1, and only one screen and one sending card. We can say all of the ports of the sending card, because this sending card has 6 outputs. And this cabinet, it has 2 columns and 2 rows we set here, and we reset all. For each cabinet, I mean, each receiving card, the size is 256 by 256. So we will set the cabinet size over here, and we choose the port 1. The screen connection should be like this. I mean, the main channel. So we have done the screen configuration. Over here, we choose to send to hardware. So now my colleague will focus the camera to the LD screen. Okay. Okay, now we can say I have sent the screen connection like this. The LD screen is showing correctly. And the final step, don't forget to save to the hardware. Okay, now the screen connection is done. And now we come back to the sending card to set the backup. We can easily find the backup setting in the middle of this interface. We can say is a redundancy. So for the first case, we will set the backup like this. We click the add, and we can say the primary sending card and the backup sending card and the primary port, I mean the output, and the backup port. So now it only has one device. So we will set the primary sending card and the backup sending card only one. And the primary port is port 1, and the backup port will be the 2. And we click the add. So here it means that we need to set the backup port and the primary port correctly according to our hardware connection. And then close this and choose to send to the hardware. Yeah. So now we have set the backup settings. Now my colleague will, wait, I will disable the mapping. Okay, now my colleague Oscar will plug out the port 1 is the main channel. Let's say the backup will work or not. Oscar, can you plug out the port? We can say the LD screen is still showing the image, it's not blank. So it proves that the backup is working. So this is the first case of redundancy in single unit. We can set the backup for different ports of sending cards. So the next one is we will set the backup on multi-devices. We can say in the structure, we connect the control PC to one of the sending card, and this sending card cascaded with second sending card. So here we will use port 1 of first sending card as the main channel, and the first port of second sending card will be the backup channel. So let's say how can we set it in the software. And now my colleague has already changed the hardware connections. The two devices are cascaded together. So let's see how can we set it in the software. Okay, now we come back to the software NovaStar and we reconnect the system and wait for some minutes. We have to check the device here. So now we can see that the device has changed to 2 because the 2 device has cascaded, but we only have 1 USB port connected. The cascading is working. So we come to the screen configuration and go to screen connection directly. And we can see here, it will show 2 sending cards. Just now, it only show 1 sending card. But here, the first sending card is the main device. So we need to configure the main device only. So we choose the first sending card and set the port 1 and 2 columns and by 2 rows and reset. And the cabinet size is 256 by 256. And we do the screen connection and send to hardware. and we send to the hardware and save to the hardware. Okay, we come back to the sending card setting and we delete the previous settings. Okay, we add the new one. So now the the primary sending card is still the one, and the backup sending card we need to set it the second one, and the primary port is the first port, and the backup is still the first port. But here, the primary port is the first sending card output, the first port. But here, the first output is the second device output. So we choose the add and send to hardware. Okay, now the settings is done. So now we will plug out the main channel of first device. Okay, now we can see the LD screen is still showing the image. So it proves that the backup is working. So I delete the backup for next one. So this is the second one. That is the last one. Now we will still use two devices. We will still use two sending card, but we will use two USB cable to connect the control PC with sending card separately. So for this one, no cascading between the sending card. So let's see how can we do the settings. Okay. Now let's reconnect the system and wait for a minute to check it. So now we can check it. It has two USB communication port over there and two sending card. They are separately. This part is, I think, is not difficult to understand. I have connected two USB cable in my laptop. So when we go to the screen configuration, it asks us to choose the port to configure. So now here, the first port is the main device, and this port is the backup device. So we choose the first one, and the next, we go to the, wait a moment, I did delete the backup before. So we go to the screen connection. And this is the screen connection as before. I think no need to show you once again. So here, I will save the screen connection as a file because later when we configure the next one, we have to use the connection file. So here I will name it demo and save it. And send to the hardware. And save to the hardware. Okay, we go back to the backup settings. For this time, I will choose this option directly. I will not add the backup and the primary port one by one because this controller M-Control 660 Pro, it supports this function. I will choose the option here. I will set the whole device as a primary device. So for the main device, the setting is over. And we close this. go to another sending card. We choose the second USB port. And next, we go to the screen connection and we load the file. This is a screen connection file we just saved and open it. Look, for the second device, we will use the same connection way, not the opposite connection way, and send to the hardware. Sometimes some of you will think about it like this. This one is the backup device. We will do the screen connection by the opposite way and send. The answer is no. If we will set the whole device as primary or backup, we have to send the same screen connection like this. Okay, and finally save to the hardware. Okay, now back to the backup settings. We will choose set as backup directly. Okay, now the settings is over. Now my colleague will plug out the main channel. It's already plugged out. We can see the backup is working. So today the demo screen is only 4 cabinets. We only have one port to be the main channel. If you want to connect more ports, I think it's similar with these settings. You can set the backup port one by one. So today is just an example to help you to understand the backup and how can we connect it. So for the third one, we can also set it in the hardware. I mean the front panel of the controller, like the VX4S, M-Control 606 Pro, M-Control 4K. It has a LCD panel over there. We can go to the menu and find the advanced setting and go to the redundancy. We can set the primary and the backup directly. Just the same with the software setting. I mean, for the third situation. So if you have the device like this, you can try to do the setting by this. So totally, there are 3 different ways to do the redundancy settings. The first one is we will do the backup on single unit. It means we will configure each corresponding primary and backup port one by one in the software. And the second one is we will do the redundancy on cascaded units, like we have 2 or 3 controllers and cascaded together by Ethernet cable or other cables. So in this kind of situation, we only have to set the screen connection on primary unit. No need to do the screen connection for backup device. And then we go to the backup settings and configure each corresponding primary and backup port one by one, similar with the first situation. And the third one is we will do the redundancy on non-cascaded units. It means we connect the control PC with the multi-devices by USB cable or Ethernet cable separately. So in this kind of situation, the devices don't know the primary and the backup relation. So we have to configure the device one by one and send the same screen connection for the device. Finally, we configure the whole unit as primary or backup device. No need to set the primary and backup ports one by one. So this is the main devices compared with the previous two situations. So this is all of the parts about today's training. The first one is cascading between the controllers for MSD300, M-Control 600, and M-Control 4K, and all of the controllers. And the second part is about the redundancy settings. As I think the three situations are helpful for your screen connection. It will improve the stability like this.